Hello all, welcome to my channel. My name is Alicia, and in this video I am going to step away from tumblers for a bit. I'm going to take this image and put it on a canvas. My coworker loves this image. She wants to hang it at her desk, so I said, well, you know, I can do this for you. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this, stay tuned and I will be right back and we will get started. Okay, I am back. So you will need a canvas, which I got this from the dollar store. It is, I think, like a 5x7 or a 6x9. So you can't beat it for a buck. You can also buy Mod Podge there, a little bottle of it for $1, and you can do this with no problem. So Mod Podge and a brush and your glitter, which this is Fresh Snow by Glitter Makes It. It's my favorite. I use it all the time, and I will link down below how you can get your hands on this gorgeous opal white glitter. Also, you will need red spray paint and Dawn Power Wash because I'm going to do pretty much the same thing on this cup. I'm going to do it on this. So I went ahead and I sealed this with Mod Podge, both sides, back and front. So it's got a coat of Mod Podge on it already. And so I'm going to apply my glitter using Mod Podge, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of Mod Podge, but in this case, I figured it was appropriate. So I'm just going to dip my brush right in here, and I'm getting low. So I'm like all the way down in there, drippy, drippy. Ugh, stuff stinks. All right, and I'm going to brush this on. And brush it down. Make sure it's nice and even. Because this glitter is a super fine glitter, so it's going to show all your little, you know, imperfections if you like leave like a big old glob somewhere. So you make sure you get it on here nice and good. I'm not going to do these edges. I'm just going to do the top. She's not really going to see the edges, so why waste the glitter on that? And now, Mod Podge, you want to be wet when you apply your glitter. It does dry pretty quick, so you need to move fairly quickly on it. You don't want to let it sit too long or it's going to dry up on you, and then you're going to have spots where your glitter isn't adhering to it. And I'm like moving this all over the place. Ah. All right. So I've got it covered. It looks pretty even. And now I'm gonna go ahead and do my glitter dump. And I'm literally doing a glitter dump. I am not gonna hold back. I am gonna just pour it all on. Nice and easy. No color blending, just one color. Just put it on there. I love this color so much. It's got like greens and it's got golds in it. I really like that. So, and it's really cool because on a black background, this turns out it's green. It's just a really cool green color. So I'm gonna show you, I didn't get my edges that well and it like dried up before. So can you see where, that's why I don't really like using Mod Podge. I probably should just use Tack It. But I'm gonna go and take my brush and just gently just hit those little spots that got missed. And we're doing this, you gotta make sure you get your edges really well, because I do want it to go all the way at the top. But yeah, if that happens, it's not the end of the world. You can mend it. You can mend it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Art is not perfect. Oh, I got a line. All right, well, you know what? I think I'm gonna really go crazy over this because I am going to be doing a power wash, so it's gonna cover some of that. I'll just get down at the bottom. I'll definitely make sure to hit it now. Down here. All right. So I'm gonna set this aside and let it dry, and I will come back with the next step. Okay, my glitter is dry and on to the next step. So for this, I'm going to seal it with epoxy, and I'm using Stone Coat's Hardener Quick Coat, part A and part B, measured in equal parts. I'm going to just pour it on here, and I mixed 20 mLs total, so that was 10 of part A and 10 of part B, and I'm gonna spread it on with my silicone brush here. If you don't have one of these, you can pick them up on Amazon. I guess the craft stores have them. I don't know. You know, in the last year, I haven't spent much time in the stores because of COVID, so I've really just been buying everything on Amazon. But if it drips over the side, that's okay. It's not a big deal. I just want to get a nice even coat on here. The reason why I'm using epoxy is because I want a nice, smooth, shiny surface when I lay down my decal, which is a water slide. So I want it to be shiny and I want it to be smooth. And I didn't flatten this glitter out, so it's, you know, it's fluffy glitter. If you've seen my other tutorials, I talk about Tack It and I talk about Mod Podge, and either it's fluffy when it's just laid down or it's flat when you use the Tack It. For this, I didn't use Tack It. So, I think I've got this up on the edge. I always pour a little bit too much. I'm not using the entire 20 mLs. I wasn't sure how much I was gonna need. I think you can hear my daughter having a meltdown in the background. I gotta do this quickly so I can go figure out what's going on with her. All right, so this is self-leveling, so it's gonna level itself out. This is quick coat, so I should be able to touch this and put the water slide on within 2 hours. All right, so I will be back when that is dry to move on to the next step. And this I'm just gonna pour into one of my earring molds, the leftover. Okay, I will be back soon. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 2 hours and my canvas epoxy is dry and it's smooth. So I'm getting ready to apply my decal. So I already printed this up and did three coats of gloss clear, the 2x Rustoleum. And I'm gonna now put it in my water to separate the backing from it and so that I can apply it. So you'll notice sometimes it curls up. You can just hold it a little bit with your fingers, or you can even flip it. Once you put it in, flip it down and get it back in and get it in there, and it should stay. It's up to you what you want to do. You can just keep pressing it down. Eventually it'll straighten itself out. And then we wait a second, wait for the paper to start to separate from the image. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip it back over. It doesn't take very long. I use actually like lukewarm water. I don't go with room temperature. I feel like the warmer water has it separate quicker and easier than the room temperature water. So I just prefer that. Plus it feels good on my fingers. Probably won't say that in the summer. I'll be too hot and I'll be wanting cold water. But anyway, right now, freezing here in the Northeast, lots of snow on the ground, and I like the warm. So I'm gonna go ahead and check it and see it's starting to loosen up. And I'm getting here at the bottom. Yep, it looks like it's ready to separate. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on towards you so you can see. So I get a little bit started at the top, and then I hold it and I just slide the paper out. That's why they call it water slide. And just very gently, I'm gonna just pull this out, nice and easy. So now it's wet, and I'm gonna wet it a little bit so that I can move it around easily. Let me pick this up so you can see. So you'll see with the water on there, you can move it and place it and position it where you want it to be. So once you get it to where you want, what I do is I use a paper towel. I know some people use silicone brush or some sort of a squeegee. I like to put water to help sop up the water, and I do a gentle smoothing out. I'm gonna measure and make sure it's where I want it to be. As far as distance, I got 1.5. And I got almost 1.5. It's looking pretty good. I'll just move it up just a hair. And then, because I want this centered, we got 1 inch here and a little over 1 inch this way. So I might just move this over a tiny bit. And a little over 1 and a little over 1, so I'm good. All right, so now that I have my image where I want it to be, I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just gonna start pressing the water out, collecting the water that's on top. And I'm gonna gently smooth, and I mean gently. I've been too aggressive with these and I've ripped way too many. Some of you may know I really am not a big fan of working with water slide. I love the way it looks on projects like this, but I struggle with it sometimes. So I think I'm getting better at it. I don't think there's any real tricks. You just got to be gentle with it and patient. Make sure you seal it really well because you don't want the ink to bleed. And I think it helps make the image a little bit thicker so that you can move it around or manage it. So I take it and I look at it on an angle and make sure there's no water bubbles in there. And if I see them, then I just gently smooth them out. On a cup, I tend to pat more because the cup is round, but for this, I'm finding that just the gentle smoothing is working really well for me. So I can see the edges, like when you have to take it on an angle so you can see the edges with the lighting. And remember, when you put clear water slide on a surface, you want your surface to be shiny because it's gonna come through the water slide. So if it's dull, it's gonna be dull and it's gonna stay dull. There's no way you're gonna be able to shine it up. You can put all the epoxy you want, it's gonna go over top. So you want anything that's underneath your water slide. If you want it to be shiny, then either you need to epoxy it, or if you're working on a cup and it's sanded, then you need to spray it with the 2x clear gloss to gloss it back up. So I don't see any more water bubbles in here. I think everything's smoothed out. It looks really good to me. And so here it is on my canvas. And now I'm gonna let this dry for probably like a half an hour or so before we go in and do the power wash and the spray paint on it. I wanna make sure it's nice and dry. You can speed it up with a heat gun or a fan or something. I'm just gonna let it air dry because I have other projects to work on, but I will be back when we're getting ready to do that. All right, getting ready to do the power wash out here in my lovely snowy backyard. At least it's sunny today. Cold still though. Urgh. All right, so I'm gonna spray the Dawn power wash, I'm gonna spray paint, and then I'm gonna rinse. So here we go. I just wanna cover this whole image. I don't want any paint on the image. Now, I'm gonna grab my red first. I'm just gonna spray the whole thing. Oops, I'm like way off. Trying to hold the camera and spray at the same time. Now I just want to put a little black in, so I just want to do a little black here in the corners. And of course, you can do whatever you want depending on your picture. All right, now I am going to rinse this with my bucket of water, and I'm going to watch my feet. Cool. Whoa, I want to make sure it don't slide off. Ah, that's so cool. All right. So I'm gonna let this dry. Shake it out, let it dry. I'm gonna put it over here for a second because I want to show you something kind of funny. So under my box, this is how my husband is keeping his beer cold. All right, I'm going inside. Yeah, it's cold. Hi, so this is dry enough to work with now. So this looks super cute. Love it. All right, now I want to finish the edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do alcohol ink. So I have red. This is actually ruby. And then black. So you can use any brand you want. I don't support any one particular brand. This is, I think, Marabou. The black is Marabou. And this one came in a kit that I got from Amazon. And I have no issues with this alcohol ink. I think it works really well. So I'm just going to squirt some on my tray. And look, I picked up a white tray at the Dollar Tree. And I'm so happy now so I can see my colors and my inks. The one thing I hate about this bottle is it leaks like crazy. It leaks from the bottom. So I get it coming from the top and the bottom at the same time. So and that's why I wear my gloves. Because it takes a while for this stuff to get off. So I have one brush and I'm actually going to get another brush. I am just going to do black in the corners like I did. So like I did black in the corners, I'm just gonna do the black in the corners. I don't know if you can see. I'm just gonna paint it on. And I definitely need more, a lot more. All right, fill this out. I dropped my brush. I have butterfingers. I drop everything. I don't know what it is. All right, so go in here in the corner. So you can see it just blends. Just gonna blend it in, paint it on. Nice and easy. And you can't see what I'm doing because I have it faced the wrong way. So I'm trying to like do this and have you see it at the same time. It's a little bit hard. All right. Let me get this end. And if you get a little bit up on the top, it's okay. No big deal. Because you already kind of got black in the corners anyway. You just take a pair of scissors and just cut it off. It just cuts right off. It's actually better if you get it like before it's really hard, but I just clipped it off and now you have nothing. All right, so now I'm gonna go in with my red and finish the edges. All right, that's it. I don't even know if you saw any of that. So, the edges are done. So now what I am going to do with this, oh, do I have a little bare spot? Yes, I do. So now what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to seal this with clear. I'm going to seal the paint and the edges with clear, and then I'm going to put a thin coat of epoxy over top, glue on a string, and it's going to be done. So I will be back when this is all done. Okay, I'm back with the dried canvas. So one last step, and this is going to be ready for my coworker's desk. So I am just gonna cut off some string here. I have a big roll of this like black satin ribbon stuff. I'm just gonna cut off a piece, and I am going to glue it. Let's put you down real quick. I'm gonna glue it to the back of my canvas. And just make sure I'm gluing it on the right way. And I've got my glue gun here, my hot mess. Look at this thing. I can't believe it's still working. I was gonna glue all over it. This thing's such a crappy design. Like the foot isn't it like flops over. I don't know. Now it's making a liar out of me. Anyway, I'm gonna glue, just hot glue this to the back. Don't burn your fingers. I do this a lot. I burn my fingers a lot, I mean. Actually, usually I have like a pink thing that I put over it. But of course, I'm not prepared. I think about these things after the fact. Instead of while I'm doing, you know, before, I think of it after the fact. All right, here it is. Here's my little finger cut thing to help it protect me from heat. I got that Dollar Tree, sorry. I keep calling it Dollar Store. It's actually Dollar Tree. I should probably get that right. It's been a long time. All right, so a little bit of glue here, down here. I don't want it too long, so yeah, and I just touched it with my thumb. My finger cut is on here, and I touched it with my thumb. Ugh. Sometimes I amaze myself. All right. And you don't need to do anything super crazy. This is canvas. It's super light. So you don't need to go heavy duty, tacking it all in. I mean, you can do it, but if you want an easy way, just hot glue to the back, and there you have it. Please like and subscribe. Kimmy, I'm bringing this into work tomorrow. Let's see how many people notice it and get a good laugh out of it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, share. I will link down below most of the products I used. And if you have any questions, please leave a comment. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.